We are in court for a civil matter regarding a libel lawsuit filed by Kayode Fayemi, former governor of Ekiti State, the person who has the singular honor of commissioning an airport that never worked in Nigeria, and who Sahara reporters wrote a story about him demanding kickbacks over the governor's forum. We are proud of our lawyer and the incredible job he did today, particularly in taking apart the witness that was brought by Mr. Fayemi, a witness that I've also known for a long time, that's Ashishana Bayo Okauru, who used to work at the EFCC and then later worked as the governor's forum as the director general of the governor's forum. So he was here to burnish Fayemi's image, but he did a terribly bad job. When he was asked several questions about, were you at the meeting where Fayemi demanded bribe? He said he was not there. Did you have a meeting with the people from whom he demanded bribe? He said no. So how do you come here to court to defend a matter you have zero knowledge about? But one other interesting thing, I must say, that that was a great job that our lawyer did today, was distinguishing between the Nigeria Governors Forum as a non-governmental organization whose chairman is negotiating with contractors for government funds. How does an NGO become a facilitator of government work? Nigeria is in the throes of the kind of security problems we have today because of bad governance. And that is why we fight. There's a reason we do whatever we can to save the country. The reason why swaths of land are taken over by terrorists today is because the leaders before now, the ones currently in power, have destroyed the opportunities for us to secure our country. They have stolen funds. The amount of money that was stolen through the Governors Forum and the Paris Club refund could have bought a fighter jet for the Nigerian Air Force. But they shared it among themselves, including Neduwoko. Neduwoko is also involved in these people. So all these people have ruined this country. And we came here to prove a point that even when we are sued to court, because they have several lawyers, I think you must have seen his lawyers, about almost 15 lawyers led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We have no problem with them. They are doing their job. That's what they call the cab rank rule. A lawyer can defend anybody, any criminal. That's their professional right. So just to let you know, but we can't also talk without just telling you how terribly we feel about the security situation in the country and the absolute lack of leadership in Nigeria at this time to tackle those issues. At the time that Nigeria, churches are being invaded, schools, terrorists are walking into schools, are abducting people. The Nigerian president's only priority is to go to South Africa and Angola and to send his minister of FCT to go and disrupt the functioning of another political party. I don't know anywhere in the world where one person belongs to two political parties, APC and PDP at the same time. But that's Nigeria. But our barrister, Tope Temokun, thank you so much for today.
Yes, sir, thank you.
And you always do a better job explaining the legal technicalities in this to the world.
Fellow citizens, I think what we witness in court is nothing that none of us here cannot even explain, But then, let me give it to the court, because we are still coming back. We don't know who they are bringing next. We feel good if they bring all good witnesses, big persons. So we should not go so deep into what transpired in court and what is going to transpire. But what I want to tell you is that at every point in time, when we hold back those who are driving the ship of this country, we are doing justice to humanity. But at every point, when we leave those who are driving the ship of this country, we leave them to do whatever they like, we are committing crimes against humanity. I witnessed what happened in Kwara State. And my conclusion as a citizen of this country is that this country has failed. I saw an Oduma who is already at the departure
Lounge of life, yes.
his life. That woman was howling around without protection. I don't know how that country can be blessed. I am afraid it is too late in the day to change nationality, but I'm not proud of this country. So the only thing we can do is what we are doing by holding these people that are driving the ship of this country, by holding them one after the other to account. One of them is the claimant in this matter. He has been a two-term governor, has been a minister. So if we talk about the movers and shakers of the political history, is mentioned. And the fact that we are in court to hold him to account is my joy. And we need to do many of these. Despite the fact that there are limited resources, despite the fact that there is a limited will, even from the citizens. But we should not give up. Whoever who has watched a video where an old woman at the departure of her life is running from bandits unprotected, then we don't need to conscientize anybody except those who have lost it. We don't need to conscientize anybody. That is enough for citizens to rise up, to demand that, look, there is need for a change of direction. How do we mean? People at the helms of affair, whether they are in power now or not, people that belong to that class, to that political ruling class, at every point in time, we must be able to call their personalities to question. And that is the courage that is being displayed by, they have alleged that it was the publication they are talking about was published by a reporter. Whoever that published it, that person is doing a good job. That is the courage. That is the courage that is needed from all citizens. We have more than 1 million persons in the class of Dr. Kayode Fayemi who are driving the ship of this country, who has driven into a state whereby almost 80 to 90-year-old woman is running from gun unprotected. Those persons cannot go scot-free. We must go after them. We must go after them legally. They must account. All of us will grow. I pray. We'll get to that stage. Our children are also coming. Is this a country we want to live for them? Is this a country we want to grow to witness? People are worshiping their own gods in their own church. And government, they invaded that church. No protection.
No help.
And it has become commonplace. It is now routine. And people are talking about genocide. People say there's no genocide. There is a genocide against citizens of this country, particularly the poor people. Everywhere. Gone everywhere, a bullet is shot against a poor man in this country. Every day, every second. There's no protection. And we say have government. I doubt it. We don't. We are doing our own little way to ensure that we call them to account. And I encourage all citizens to join in this trail. Thank you so much.
One of it is that by tomorrow again, we'll be going back to the Federal High Court in Abuja for a number of cases. Actually, I have like 3 cases tomorrow overlapping. Same Federal High Court. But tomorrow is also the day they are going to do the ruling on Nnamdi Kanu's case. And we have called on them to stop the charade, but whatever happens tomorrow, it will be on record that we play our role in history to warn them against this, especially at the time that the nation is drifting aimlessly at sea. The second part is that I want to react to something that I saw online of the federal government, the APC government, insinuating that it's part of the war against Sahara Reporters, that I can say that Sahara Reporters was built and fashioned against corruption and ineptitude and incompetence. And I'm happy that I founded it, even though I don't run it anymore. But I'm glad and I'm proud of it. They started some kind of propaganda yesterday again. You know, there's always a propaganda against myself. That Sahara Reporters was the reason why the general who was abducted got killed. They don't want to take responsibility for their failure. You know, you imagine a brigadier general in the army went to fight. He survived the fight. The Nigerian army could not rescue him. He doesn't have a flare. He doesn't probably have enough bullets. He doesn't have the tools to protect himself or to make sure that his location is safe until he's rescued. The Nigerian army did not do anything about it and the guy was slaughtered. Now they are using their minions to throw the blames around. It's not something I want to react to, but I just want to tell you that these guys have lost their mind. And I think I met someone recently who said, Tinubu is the new Buhari. That is what Buhari ran the country for 8 years. Absent-minded, and I think that was why some people believed that the person who was president came from Sudan. They knew he probably was Buhari, but that's their own way of expressing his lack of understanding of governance. Is to say he's what do they call him, Jubril of Sudan. And that is what we have now. This one now is what do they call it, is the Sumoni of Benin Republic. Tinubu doesn't know what's going on in this country. I can bet my life on it that the only thing he wakes up to is how to get the second term. Even if nobody votes, if there's nobody to vote, if terrorists take over half of the country, because the people they call bandits are also terrorists in another name. It's just another alias name for terrorism. But, when we call them bandits, maybe it doesn't make it look great. And as our lawyer said, and I have said, the genocide that is happening in Nigeria is happening to everybody, particularly the poor. Because some people will twist it and say, oh, you say there's no genocide. Of course. The two events that happened in Nigeria yesterday happened to Muslims and Christians.
Sure.
25 Muslim females, girls, were abducted. Nobody has traced them. By evening, 3 people were killed in a church. It was live streamed. So how do you then separate what is happening? And the saddest part is that if government is not killing people, state actors are killing people with the help of government. Yeah. The only thing they're effective at doing is tracking people like me down for cybercrime arraignment. They haven't been able to capture one terrorist or capture any bandit leaders. They hold meetings with them. In fact, there was something I read today that one bandit in Katsina killed an assistant commissioner of police and put on his uniform to come for dialogue in Katsina. He did not even discard the uniform. After killing him, took his gun, he wore that uniform with the epaulets in place, with the rank in place, and came to Katsina for an open meeting in the uniform of an assistant commissioner of police that he murdered.
Government.
And you say you have government in Nigeria. So that's why we call for a revolution. We are never afraid to say it, and we'll continue to tell you that until that happens, there's no way out of this situation. You have seen it yourself. We don't have to explain too much. Again, thank you very much for being with us, hanging out with us wherever we go. We'll keep telling you as things are happening and as they are unfolding. Revolution.